Hey, are you Miss Falakemi?
Yes, I am.
You're under arrest for learning so
What?
fast that it became illegal. Anything you do or say here will be used against you in the learning court of law. You can't just arrest me. I'm going to class to teach my students. Move, move, bang. Do not bother me today, students, because as you can see, I'm just coming back from learning jail because they thought I was too good for this world. Can you imagine that? Whatever. While I was in jail, I started to think and I started to reflect deeply on just how bad your learning skills were. So I decided to break out from jail. Don't tell the police. But I decided to break out from jail just to teach you how to learn so fast that it feels illegal. So if you're ready to learn how to learn anything faster that it becomes illegal, let's get to work. We sadly live in a world of learn how to make money in 5 minutes, build a 32-story building with me in 2 minutes. But your brain doesn't care about quick. It cares about effective. When learning feels too easy, it actually isn't sticking. It's just floating, like how the answers to your last test were floating in your head and you couldn't remember anything. Yeah, just like that. Real learning feels a little bit challenging, almost like pushing a wheelbarrow through a wet sand. If you've tried that before, that is so hard. But that discomfort you feel, maybe your brain telling you that, hey, this is actually very important information. And speaking of discomfort, do you know the number one thing that stresses out your brain the most? Trying to do everything at once. Yeah, I've spoken about it before and I'll continue speaking about it because I am the typical African mother. I won't let you rest until you succeed. I want you to do something for me. Just close your eyes and imagine that your brain is like a flashlight. Okay? A flashlight, like you can remember, is very focused and it has like a sort of laser one man attention. But just imagine that you're trying to turn this flashlight into a floodlight.
That ain't gonna work.
It's not going to be as effective as it was being a flashlight. So just like a flashlight, your brain understands best when it's focused on one thing at a time. In other words, you learn better when you split your learning into small digestible chunks, just like when you want to eat, you won't carry a whole mountain of eba or a whole mountain of, for my international audience, a whole mountain of burger. You won't want to stuff it all into your mouth like that. You take one piece at a time, one piece at a time. That will make it easier for you to digest. That's how your brain is like as well. 90% of reasonable people do not eat an entire pizza at once, except you have a death sentence. Then you may have to do that because you're going to die very soon. A normal person will eat in slices, so resist the urge to multitask and focus on just one task at a time. And trust me that you will definitely see the results you crave for. But even when you do that, there's still one thing that most people avoid, and it's exactly what's keeping them stuck at one position. There's always that one thing you keep avoiding. That one chapter you keep skipping, that topic you keep glossing over, that ex that hurt you so bad that you don't ever want to love again. You avoiding those weak spots is like avoiding a flat tire and hoping that it will fix itself because you think that fixing your flat tire at the moment when it is flat is stressful. But one thing that does not require an effort? An accident. I'm just kidding. I always sound so. I'm not a negative person, I promise. So while we excuse my poor analogy, what I'm trying to say is that learning gets easier when you target and face what you fear. Because once you are determined and go head on to face that scary topic, that scary person, you begin to see that it wasn't that bad at all. It was just in your head, playing like a scenario in your head. But I know that right when you finally sit down to face that scary topic, your brain suddenly wants to scroll on Instagram. Your brain suddenly wants to watch the latest TikTok trend or even take a quick nap. But those naps are never quick. You and I know. So let's talk about that next. Not everyone may need to quit social media forever, honestly. Sometimes all you need is just delayed gratification. In order to do the things you need to do, you will need to lure your brain into thinking, we are going to check Instagram after I finish this topic. We are going to scroll TikTok after I finish these two topics. It's kind of like you deceiving your brain. I'm not saying you should deceive your brain, but that's what I'm doing. Anyway, I call this a reward-based learning. And when your brain links an effort to a reward, it starts to cooperate better with you. Try it and see. So instead of fighting your distractions all the time, try to come to a reasonable bargain with them, Just like when you want to buy pepper in the market and then arguing with the woman, no woman, take 400 naira instead of 500, take 300 instead of 400 naira. No, that's You get what I mean? Yep. Let me not. So now at this point, I have a question for you. What if the best way to know if you've learned something is to stop studying and start talking? You know, I follow a school of thought that says if you can't explain it, maybe you really don't understand it. Teaching other people what you've learned forces your brain to organize the knowledge instead of just storing it. You know, there is a way that your brain can store something and it's all like jargon, especially when you read something for the first time. It always looks like pieces of jargons scattered all over your brain. But when you are able to teach it to others, your brain is able to compartmentalize and organize different sections of what you learned and make it into meaningful information for you to use. So, after this video, take what you've learned and teach it to a friend. Teach it to a 5-year-old, teach it to a 12-year-old, teach it to your wall. It sounds and looks awkward, but trust me, it's very powerful. When you start to teach others, the knowledge gaps and the weak links that you may have in between your knowledge, they begin to show up fast. And that's what we want, because the faster you realize what you don't know yet, the better and earlier you can learn them. Now, once you know the gaps, the next move I think is pretty obvious: practice. Not passively this time, but actively. Nobody learns a song by just sitting down to read the lyrics. You don't learn how to code by just watching and binging hundreds of YouTube videos. You learn by acting, by practicing and applying everything that you've learned. In this process, you would make mistakes, you would have to try again, you'd have to go back to the things that you've learned. And trust me, the more you do these things, the more you recall and use that knowledge, the deeper and the longer it sticks to your memory. Passive review and passive scrolling actually feels productive at the moment, but active recall is what would actually change the game for you. I have a whole video on this, so I'll just link it in the description box for you to check. I'm very magnanimous. I know. Go and Google magnanimous if you do not know the meaning. But what if you are doing everything right and you are still not getting the results that you want? The good news is, it's actually normal. Some days, learning will feel like you are in between a rock and a hard place. But that's not your sign to give up. That's just your brain and your mind adjusting to the sudden stress that you are facing. Motivation is cute, but discipline is what actually gets you the results. You are going to experience boredom, but you have to build those systems anyway. So I want you to begin to anticipate and expect boredom, because trust me, learning is going to test you. It's going to break you sometimes. So irrespective of what you feel, you're going to have to stick with what you're learning and continue to build those systems of discipline. Even when you don't feel like getting up to study, when you don't feel like going to your workplace, when you don't feel like starting that project, just do it anyways. Your future self will thank you. So now that that is done, there is just one final piece that locks everything together. Are you aware that your brain doesn't fully store what you're learning while you're learning it? It stores a huge chunk of it after you're done learning. You know, there's a bougie term called neuroplasticity, These doctors always try to scare us with big words sometimes, but I'll break it down for you. It is basically the ability of the brain to adapt to new experiences and exposures, like learning a new skill. Now, I want you to guess where a lot of this adaptation happens. You're right. During sleep, during rest. Clap for yourself. While you are asleep, your brain is quietly able to form new neurons and strengthen the connections between the old neurons and the new neurons. Neurons are the messengers in the brain. They're the ones that send signals from one part of your brain to another, and they're the ones that bear the information that you've just learned. So this strengthening and forming of new connections is what actually makes you remember information faster. It's just like hitting Ctrl S on everything you just did. Very impressive, right? So if you're skipping sleep, just know that you're writing your masterpiece, spending hours, wasting hours learning a skill, and then you're just dumping it in the trash. So to avoid that, take that rest today. Sleep that sleep today. You will not die. Now, all of this genius information I just shared with you won't help you if you keep putting off that thing that you actually want to learn. So to fix that, I highly recommend this course right here. It changed my life, and I'm sure it's definitely changed yours. Don't walk to that video. Run. Now I'm going to have to take my leave now before the police starts to look for me. See you next Saturday by 12 p.m.